What's up, everyone? Um, so this is something that's been weighing heavy on my heart, and I feel like there's somebody out there somewhere that needs to hear this. So that's why I'm doing this video. About 10 years ago, when I was first diagnosed with a mental health disorder, it was actually cyclothymia, which is a lesser degree of bipolar. Um, I was ashamed. I was worried about how people would feel about me, what people would think of me, because I had this disorder. And I only told a couple people, people that I trusted. And eventually, whenever I got into an argument with one of those people in particular, they threatened to tell everybody about my mental health. And that was one thing that, made me very self-conscious about it. So, a couple years after that, after my initial diagnosis, and I was, they said, no, you've got full-blown bipolar disorder, bipolar 2, and anxiety and depression. I was even more ashamed. I didn't know what to do. I felt useless. I didn't feel normal. To be honest, that initial diagnosis was one of the hardest diagnoses I had ever received. What do? You're so ashamed. You're so afraid that people are going to think differently of you, that prospective employers aren't going to hire you because of this. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to be ashamed. There's nobody in this world that is normal. It's not a thing. Normal is not a thing for people. We all have our ails. We all have our differences. Having a mental health disorder, being bipolar, having PTSD is no different than somebody who's diabetic. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. We were born like this. It's not something to be ashamed of. It makes us who we are. It makes us stronger people. I've learned a lot being bipolar. Even with my novel, I was so afraid. I know this sounds crazy because I'm sitting here talking about this, but I was so afraid to release it with my name on it because of the fact I was worried about what potential employers would think about me, or what people at work would think about me. But you know what? If an employer doesn't want me, a friend doesn't want me, a family member doesn't want me because of my mental disorder, okay, bye. That's how I'm kind of looking at it, because it makes me who I am. If you don't want me because of me, you weren't a true friend. You weren't the employer I was meant to be at. You're not really family. Just because we're blood doesn't mean we're family. Yeah, there's plenty of friends out there who will pretend to be your friend until something's wrong. They're like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. No. A real friend is going to stand by your side, and they're going to help you. My best friend, whenever he found out, he was the most supportive person I ever knew about it. His dad's the one who actually helped me get to go into therapy and get the initial diagnosis. And after I was diagnosed, of course I told him, and they were the most supportive people. His dad told me, I told him I felt so defeated, so broken. And he told me, he was like, is the wrench broke? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, if the wrench ain't broke, keep on turning. I'm not broke. Keep on turning in life. I've got a lot of friends who understand. I've got a lot of family who loves me, and I've got a great employer who knows. Don't be ashamed. It makes you who you are. We're people too. You're not weak. We're sick. But that's okay. Everybody's got something. Diabetic, high blood pressure. It's not their fault. It's who we are. Don't be ashamed. Love yourself. Love the people who love you. And keep on keeping on. That wrench ain't broke yet.